Hey guys, my name's Nate, and I'm the Otter Outdoorsman.
And I'm Tom.
And in this video, we are going to be showing you guys how to make a shadow box, or it is also known as a pinhole camera. This is for the upcoming solar eclipse. I am making this video a couple weeks early so that you have time to gather the materials and make it yourself. This is also going to be released with another video, a PSA about the solar eclipse with a bit of information. And in another week's time, hopefully, there should be a podcast out with me and Tom's podcast, the Wilderness Wanderers podcast, with a bit more information on the solar eclipse. But this video is more of a way how to, if you're in the fringe areas, or even if you're in the zone of totality, how you can kind of view it in another way. So, what is pinhole camera, or the
Shadow box?
Shadow box, which I don't know why I blanked on the name because I've been calling it that for a while. Basically, what it is it's a point that you can, it's an area where you can poke a hole into one point of the box or a side of it. The light comes through and you can actually start to see the shadow of the moon go over that light, and it blocks it out, and you actually it blocks out the sun's light and you can see the shadow. It's really, really cool. My mom showed it to me when I was a kid, and that's how I remember it.
Yep. It was actually the first form of photography, so it's got a bit of history and it works. It definitely works.
The easiest way to make it is honestly 2 sheets of white paper. You can just take a needle,
Poke a hole.
poke a hole in the paper, and hold it over the other piece of paper.
Yep, and then just try to get it into, by manipulating height, get it into focus on the other sheet of paper, and then you can see.
And you'll want to hold it there. You'll be able to see the eclipse. It's really, really cool. One of the other ways is you can eventually cut a hole in the you can cut a hole in the piece of paper, put a little bit of tinfoil in there, and poke the hole. You get a little bit better of view.
And yeah, tinfoil just keeps its form a lot better around that little hole. So
what we're going to be doing is making a little bit more of a stable version, so you don't have to stand there and hold the paper like this.
Yep.
In this video.
But also so that you can mount a camera.
We described the other two because they really don't take much description.
Yep.
The other two, the other reason why we're building that is because that's going to be the one I'm going to be using to film the shadow of it. I'm going to be viewing the partial. Tom's viewing the total.
Cool.
So, in order for this project, for this DIY shadow box project, basically what we're going to be using is some cardboard boxes. 2 in this case.
Foil.
Some paper. And
A needle.
There'll be some other stuff that I just for filming equipment and stuff, but I mean, basically that's really all you need. That stuff, maybe some scissors or a knife to just cut it, but otherwise pretty simple stuff that if you're like me and order a lot off of Amazon, you have this stuff laying around the house if you're bad at breaking down boxes. Literally, I think it was like, do we need boxes? Like, it's not a problem.
Not a problem.
Definitely not a problem. Poor Cassie. It's also in my office. But mostly. It's condensed to my office. But anyways, so I'm going to set up the table. It's broken down for reasons at this moment, but we'll set it up, and I'm going to bring the camera, and we're just gonna kind of get to work. I haven't decided if we're going to talk it through or I'm just going to do a voiceover. We'll see what editor Nate decides.
What I'm thinking you should do is just mount this to this.
And then we adjust it. My only issue with that is because then I have to adjust it I mean, that isn't a bad idea, though.
Yeah, because that's a ready-made hinge.
Yeah.
Because
it's just then I have to find a way of propping that up.
Well, you need about a 53-degree angle anyway, which is about.
Yeah, then we have to figure a way of.
Yeah, that'll work.
That works perfectly.
Yeah, but what you need to do is you need to cut out one of the things from here so that your pinhole is only one pinhole.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what you should do is you should wait to duct tape the wings.
Yeah.
Until you're out in the field, because also you get the benefit of having this
adjusting it. Yeah.
Having it able to fold in for transport.
Yeah.
So that when you have this attached, it will fold into the box. When we have it attached, it will fold into the box like so, and you only have a box to carry.
Yeah. And then I can kind of just line it up to the paper right here.
Yeah, you line it up to whatever paper you put there. And you can mount the camera here, or you can mount the camera.
I was actually just going to put the camera here.
That would work.
So that I can just.
Yep. The camera you can just.
Cutting a hole in the box for the tinfoil.
Actually, this is to get the light to go through this end into where the foil's going to be.
Okay, so we're going to do it on both sides?
Yeah, you got to cut a smaller hole on the other side because we just have to tape some foil to it.
Okay.
But cut a big hole here for the aperture.
Okay, so we're doing both sides.
Yes.
Okay. I thought we were actually just cutting out both sides. I thought we were just going to cut out one side.
Well, then how is the light going to get to the other end, Nate?
I thought we were just going to put tinfoil on that side.
Yeah, but how are you going to get the light to the tinfoil?
That's going to rip out one side.
Well, that's what this is.
Just keep the stability of the box.
Yeah, just keep the stability of the box. And the light will go through.
Mm-hmm.
We'll make a small hole on this end.
You almost just stabbed me.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I'll make a much smaller hole, probably about, yay, like centered, right? Yeah, that's centered. Yay to there, and then just. Oh, you keep the box's structure.
I was going to use the other box to keep the box's structure. That's how I was going to do it.
I'm going to actually get the serrated one because it cuts better on cardboard. There we go. And now the light goes through.
Hold on.
The light goes through here and into there where we will have some foil. Yep.
We can also tape it from the inside too if we need to.
Well, it needs to be secure.
Yeah.
Doesn't actually need to be structural. Now you're going to want to go test this
tomorrow or something.
Yeah, like tomorrow, and tell me how it works. And just see if you can get a picture of the sun. Doesn't have to be a really clear picture, but it has to be good enough to catch the moon.
The moon? Oh, you mean
During the eclipse.
Yeah. I'll test it out tomorrow or Sunday or something.
Yeah. Well, if you do it tomorrow, I can probably come over on Sunday and help revamp it if you need. There we go. We got foil on the other side. Right. Got foil right on the other side. Just has to be a pen. Just has to be pokey. pin very carefully. Done. And there we go. I don't even know if that can, there you
Yeah,
go.
it's on the camera.
There we go. One tiny little pinhole.
So basically what we're doing is we're using the
flap of the box.
the flap of the box as a hinge point, so on the day there I can adjust it to the other side so I can kind of adjust it so I can get it on camera properly. And
Center it as best you can on this flap so you don't have to worry about distance on either side.
or just securing it with
Duct tape.
good old-fashioned duct tape.
We're engineers here.
Literally doing this on a
Shoestring budget. Doesn't
Yeah.
have to be fancy. Just has to work.
it's going to be used once. And to think I was going to try and actually spend money on this.
Now what I'm going to do, a nice long piece. Put it underneath. And we can actually just lift it up together. Whoop. Right up onto the box. There we go. And it is now secure to the flap.
And then basically what I'll do to secure it in place on the day of the eclipse is I'll just take these flaps in and I'll find it at the place.
Make the final adjustment for the angle of the sun to the pinhole when he's finding his spot.
And then duct tape it in place with these two straps so then it basically will stay there and
Keep the sun in focus.
keep the sun in focus and I'll be happy, hopefully.
You will probably have to double check to make sure during the start of the eclipse that it is still in place. But once it is still in place, it probably should stay for the whole eclipse.
Because hopefully what I'm basically, the plan for this is I'm basically going to set it in place and just forget it so I can enjoy this and you guys will have maybe one or two different videos, one or two different shots of the eclipse from me. So what we're going to do is we just have to add in the paper and then we're going to test this with a flashlight and then I'm going to try and test this if I get a chance to test this live with the actual sun before I upload this. You guys will see this in this video as well.
I'm just going to duct tape this to the...
Which will get some sort of... It'll be tacked onto this portion of it before the outro. But without any commentary from us during the outro.
Duct tape this to
The bottom.
so that the white sheet of paper stays. Doesn't have to be super sexy, it just has to work. And then I'm going to hold that there, and then I'm going to duct tape it to the flap. You may want to replace this when you actually take it out for the eclipse, but
We'll see.
you'll see. See how it works.
Okay.
So
So
now shut the light off in the room, because this is a much dimmer light. No, that is the pinhole effect. Ready?
Okay.
So when I poke that through,
It's showing up on camera.
you can see you can see my
Hold on, let me turn off the monitor.
you can see the shape of the bulb and the shape of the focus of the light coming through.
Can we get a different light? Or is it?
That's how it's supposed to work. Look at that. It's basically that is the shape of the light coming through the pin. But on the day, folds up like that.
Now what we'll do, and now that we have this, I'm going to shove some spare parts into here. Paper. tin foil. I'm not gonna put that in. I'm not gonna put that in there. I'm gonna make a separate box for the needle and the duct tape.
Yep. But with just a few bucks.
Not even a few bucks. Things you have lying around the house.
For free.
Well,
and there you have it.
For things that, well, I have laying around the house.
Basically free.
Paper, a couple pieces of duct tape, some spare boxes.
A pin.
Well, you're not using the pin, but the pin's a tool. And using a knife, which if I'm betting most of the people that watch my channel and are watching this most likely have some form of knife.
On you.
If you don't, you can use scissors for this.
If you don't, get on it.
They're useful. But anyways, so we've put this together. I'll try and kind of put some instructions, or we've hopefully been enough that you can kind of figure out how to set this up. So if you want to try and catch it on camera like we are, you can do it. Or if you want to kind of have it set up for it, you have it. This is kind of a bit more of a complicated DIY project for a shadow box. But I'm also doing this so I can show you guys this. Again, all you really need at the end of the day as well, you can do this with 2 pieces of paper. I just have a little bit more of a complicated setup, which is technically, it's more than 2 pieces of paper.
Still paper.
It's still a lot of paper. But again, if you're interested in seeing the eclipse, and honestly, go see the eclipse. Check out our PSA that we put out.
Check out our podcast episode.
Check out our podcast episode. If you're not subscribed to our podcast, you're not checking out our podcast, please check that out anyways. We're putting a lot of effort into that. But we'll put some information down below to all that stuff. Make a shadow box if you're in the continental USA or North America, and check it out.
It's gonna be cool.
It's gonna be cool. The next one isn't until 2024, and that one is going from Southwest Texas to Maine. So check this out. Anyways, my name's Nate, and I'm the Otter Outdoorsman.
And I'm Tom.
You guys have a good day, and remember, get out in the woods and have some fun. See everyone.